I'm David Orcutt with Winston Properties, and we're here today to talk about boat docks and pricing of boat docks, both for maintenance, building, and things to look at. So I'm here today with Matt Bartholow.
That's me, owner of Waze's Boat Docks. Been here for about 10 years and building docks for 3.
And I've called Matt because Matt has helped me with a couple of properties I've purchased on my own or considered purchasing on my own. One of them was a disaster of a boat dock, and we had to waive off on the house because of the price of the boat dock repair costs. And then he's also helped me with looking at houses I was going to buy that had boat docks. I needed to know how much cost I was going to have in repairing some issues there. So I wanted to get an expert to talk to us about this, and we're here at a friend's boat dock, which is a good example of where you can start.
All right, so this is what we call a gangway. It's what connects you to your dock structure. So these are installed to take up for shallow areas. If you were to put a boat dock this close in, it would have no utility. So we bring it further out. A fairly large footprint on this dock. It's capable of supporting multiple vessels on here. This is what's called a PWC cradle. So you can fit 2 Sea-Doo type products or jet skis on here. And we have kind of a conventional boat lift right here. This can support any V-shaped boats. It wouldn't support a pontoon, not a wake boat. So these tend to get very application specific. And there's a few other little accessories.
And the roof's a little low here for what boat docks are now.
The roof is a bit low. You know, much like homes from 20, 30 years ago, the garages were kind of small for modern vessels or vehicles. Same with boat docks. You know, boats were smaller back then, so they built everything a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I'm touching here, so it's right at 8 feet to the beams across there. How tall do you want them now?
9 to 10 feet.
Okay.
So when you think about when you're actually on the lake, coming in on 4th of July, the water's gonna be super turbulent. So you don't wanna have to stop what you're doing and drop your bimini. You wanna be able to pull in, nestle into your cradle, and then get out and lift out. At that point, you know, you're a lot safer. You're not going to damage something in the process.
Yeah. So you want it high enough, at least 2 feet between the bottom of the boat and the water because of the waves, action, splashing, all that kind of thing.
Sure. We try to set the target top of deck height to about 24 inches above what the BRA considers full pool value. And that keeps most of your structure out of the splash zone per se.
Okay.
And it enhances your life on your boat dock.
And then over here, it's not as big a deal. You don't care how, you just have to be able to stand as you bring your Sea-Doos out of the water.
Even this cradle is a little too short for most modern jet skis and Sea-Doos. So same issue with those. A lot of times the back end of your jet ski or even your boat on these small slips is going to be exposed to the sun. So you're going to get UV degradation at an accelerated rate because of that. This is about a 20-foot slip. So it's you could fit anything up to about a 19-foot boat in here, but you know, typical wake boats 22 foot, pontoons 24. So they would either have to cut the deck back or, you know, make some major modifications to properly fit in their boat. So what we have here is your actual mechanical lift, and if you follow this down, you'll see the pulleys and the cabling systems on here. So one thing, when you come out and you buy a new house in Granbury, it's not very likely that this is going to be capable of supporting your new boat. So you need to get that looked at. These might be undersized.
How would you look at that and know what size boat it can handle?
Well, you kind of need an expert for that. One thing, for the heavier boats, they'll put compounds on it like this. This gives you a mechanical advantage for the heavier equipment. A lot of times these aren't enough though, so those might have to be upgraded.
The motor, like how big a motor is that one, you think?
That's probably a 2,800 pound. So with it compounded, yeah, you can technically support about 6,000, but it would be stressing. And we also have these ordinary bearings right here. These are just oversized pipe sleeves. So what happens is the grease, as you can see, is kind of oozing out through the sides of it, which can fall down on your boat or on your deck and stain things. So they do have upgrade options for pillow block bearings, which are hermetically sealed. And this is a gym remote. This is a great option to have on a boat dock. And instead of a toggle switch, you have a button transformer, and it goes up, goes down. They also come with little waterproof key fobs, so that way when you're in your boat coming in, you can drop it down or raise it up.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you don't want to leave your cradle in the water when you're out and about because it's going to be rocking and banging around and stuff. So just get it up to safety. Another great thing about living on Lake Granbury is you can pump all the water you want out for $75 a year.
All that water is yours. You just have to pump it.
Yep. So
Not
what
exactly.
you need to pump it is an irrigation system, and that's what this box right there is. It it siphons it out from there and sends it through the yard.
When I was on the water, my dock was a submersible pump that was at the deepest water possible, and it was submersible, so it was water cooled, and so the pump was there. The power had to get to there, and then pump it all up. And we never saw the box because the box holds the pump, and our pump was underwater.
Sure. So let's talk about decks. You have a lot of different options. This particular dock isn't using a composite deck. This is just pressure treated lumber, and it's been treated with some type of epoxy. But most of the newer docks, you're almost exclusively going to see composite decking. There's different brands out there. There's popular, well-known ones such as Trex.
And wood is tough because you got to keep it painted or keep it stained. We saw a lot of work needing to be done on that
and it
gangway
rots.
in the sun.
And it rots. So virtually all the composite decking manufacturers are going to have a minimum 25-year warranty, assuming it's built to spec and code. This, if you have either stained wood or epoxy sealed, it's just maintenance. You might save a few bucks up front, but you're going to be working every year on it.
Okay, so next we want to talk about what docks cost. But before that, I want to apologize since it's nice, beautiful weather. I wore my Howdy Aloha shirt to hopefully keep the warm weather we have going at 70 degrees here in January. Matt, what would a dock approximately this size cost? So it actually has a sunning area here. It's got some good space to play with, a lot of space for seating. Had to have it has a nice wide gangplank, but it's probably out here about 40 feet. And then the 2 lifts. But if you built this new, what would it cost?
I would say this dock would be about $75,000.
That much, okay, because of all the extra square footage mostly?
Sure. Well, when you think about, it's about $30,000 per slip.
Okay.
And that's about 10 to 15 for the gangway and the tie-in. So yeah, I'd say probably 75-ish.
So what would a typical boat dock built in Granbury? Say one slip, with a little bit of room to sit out there and enjoy being out farther onto the lake, a normal walkout amount. Like, what would a typical amount be for that?
Well, most boat docks on this lake don't require a gangway. So our most economic version.
So you're coming out of your backyard straight onto, or a very short amount to the dock.
Yeah, because there's actually a substantial number of properties here that are within a canal or a cove, and they just don't require this type of access.
They're right at deep water.
Yeah.
Deep enough water for a boat.
Those type of properties benefit from a lower cost to build. We have one called Cozumel. It's about 18 by 30 footprint, and that's about $35,000 with
Cozumel's a brand type that you have?
That's our floor plan, is a Cozumel. Yeah.
Okay.
And we name all of our floor plans off of islands. So we have like the Cozumel, we have the Polynesian, Tahiti, the Bahama.
Oasis boat docks, right?
Yeah, it makes sense, right? So
I like that. And then as a realtor and as a buyer, remember that you need to get that license to have the dock. It does not carry over to the next owner. You're going to get it easily, but you need to apply, pay the money, and all those kind of things. And a separate amount you need to pay to be able to pull the water out of the lake. If you're not paying for that, they're not going to let you do it.
Yeah, it's not bad though, $75 a year.
Yeah. So Matt, what's the most expensive dock you've built here on the lake?
Probably $430,000.
Great. And what was special about it that drove the price up like that?
It was a 30-foot vaulted ceiling with H-beam pilings, H-beam trusses. Everything was pine tongue and groove. I mean, top of the line, everything.
It was like building that beautiful patio up there down
on the water.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm David Orcutt with Winston Properties, here with Matt, and we kind of summarized for you kind of what you're looking at on a dock, what to think about as you walk through it. You're not an inspector, I'm not an inspector. He's a boat dock builder, so he knows how to do this stuff. To give you an idea what that is, but also give you an idea about if you're building maybe a new lot or you have a tear down dock, about what that's going to cost for you. So if you have any questions about that, give me a call with Winston Properties, David Orcutt, hit like, hit subscribe. And if you're interested in the boat dock or have more questions about it, please give Matt a call, and you can find him at
oasisdocks.com.
Great. See you next week.